This was probably a month ago when we talked about there are certain teams, they're not even interesting. I'm not saying they're not good. They're bad, but they're not interesting. Sometimes you can have a team that is not very good, but they might have a star player. They could be interesting for whatever reason. And like the Giants aren't really relevant. They're not interesting. I mean, we watch because we probably watch to see what Daniel Jones is going to do or not do. Carolina's not good. They're not even interesting. I feel bad when I'm watching Bryce Young. I don't know if he can play or not. I don't know if he's going to get the chance anytime soon. But there are a few teams, and we threw the Saints in there a month ago. We're like, all right, I've kind of seen this. Seton, that was his hot take that Dennis Allen would be the first coach fired. We've seen Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, okay, but not really interesting. Great fan base, cool uniforms, but there's nothing there. Not interesting. And then all of a sudden, the Minnesota Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, we thought, all right, they're going to be interesting. Are they going to be good? They do have Justin Jefferson. And then all of a sudden we're going, all right, you got Sam Darnold. All right, you'll be a bridge quarterback. Now all of a sudden you're watching the Vikings differently. Now all of a sudden you're watching the New Orleans Saints differently. Now I get it. First week, Vikings beat the Giants. No one cares. Then they win yesterday against the Niners. No, I know, no Christian McCaffrey. Still, I know you're going cross country, earlier time game, time zone game 4. I get all those things. The Vikings still got the win yesterday. And then the Saints go on the road to Dallas because their first game of the season, they dominated 47 points against Carolina. That doesn't really count. Now you go to Dallas and you put up 44 points on that defense. Okay, now you have our attention. So I was curious about, the over-unders for win totals. The Saints, as of today, the over-under is 10.5 wins. How about that? Same roster pretty much as you had last year. Same coach, same quarterback, same Alvin Kamara, healthier. And then I was curious about the Vikings, over-under 8.5. All right. So these are these perception wins. You go on the road, you do that. You go up against the team that went to the Super Bowl, and you pick up a win. Now, all of a sudden, we're looking at the Vikings and Saints differently. And I know it's only 2 weeks, but this is what we do. You got people, hey, Saints, playoffs? It's 2 games. Let's wait a little bit here. How about we wait for 4? Like the over-under should be 4 games before we make a declaration. Is that fair? I know it's not hot take-ish, but can we wait 4 games? Tom Brady said, hey, first 4 games were always kind of the preseason for us. Granted, you had the greatest coach and greatest quarterback, so you had a little bit of an advantage there. Like the Bengals. Bengals are 0-2. Could have easily won that game yesterday. And I thought that, for the most part, they were the better team. But, give credit. Kansas City finds a way to win, while most teams find a way to lose. I'm not ready to make a declaration on the Bengals that they're not going to be good this year. Get T. Higgins back. They got to figure out this Jamar Chase situation. But they do have talent. They have a really good quarterback. But you're in a division that you're not quite sure. Like Baltimore loses at home. Now they go to Dallas. The Raiders come in there and beat Baltimore in Baltimore. Pittsburgh, they can't score touchdowns, but they can keep you from scoring touchdowns. They're 2-0. They've scored 1 offensive touchdown. Mike Tomlin can still coach. And, the Browns got to win. A big win. Beat Jacksonville. So now all of a sudden you're going, all right, let me handicap this division. I have no idea. 0. And I want to say to Sean McVay, if you're not watching the show or listening to the show, you should have. Because what did I tell you, Sean? The Cardinals are going to go to Marvin Harrison Jr. III many, many, many times to start the game. And what happened? They went to Marvin Harrison Jr. III many, many times because they didn't go to him in week 1. And I thought, boy, they are going to go to him right off the bat. And they did. Here's Kyler Murray on Marvin Harrison.
Drew called plays. I'm just trying to go out there and execute. Obviously, I've played for a long time. You want to get your guys the ball early, so they can feel like they're in the game. Get them going, get their juices flowing. I feel like we did a great job of that today.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it's not really rocket science. It's that guy's really good. We drafted him really high. We should probably throw him the ball. Ready, break. That's it. And then I tried to warn Sean McVay, Sean, they're going to go to Marvin Harrison. And then, now granted, they went to him early. They didn't go to him often because after the first quarter, basically the numbers he put up in the first quarter, but that was enough. And now the Rams, you don't have your two best receivers. The over-under for the Rams is now, as of today, this morning, DraftKings, 7.5 wins. There were some experts who thought they could win that division. Now, granted, they can still win the division, a late push like they had last year. But you start to look at these teams, the Dolphins over-under is 8.5 now. Same as the Packers. Now, the Packers, some people thought that they could go to the Super Bowl this year. Malik Willis did a good enough job yesterday. That's all you were asking. Granted, you're facing the Colts, but, you take care of the football. The Texans over-under after last night's win, 11.5. So this is the reaction that we have. This is real-time reaction of, are they going to be good? Are you going to, if these are stocks, are you buying into these stocks? Like, which of these stocks would you say, yep, all in on that? If I said the Saints 10.5, I don't know if anybody in this room is going, yep, I'm going to take the Saints. Marvin, are you? You look like you're poised to say you are.
With Drew Brees, Reggie Bush, Pierre Thomas.
No, they're not there anymore. Not there anymore.
They're going 10.5.
Yeah. You're going over?
No, I'm still going under.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Texans, you would find people go, yeah, I'll take them. I'm still fading them, but they're a really good team. They didn't play great, put a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams. Once again, it always comes back to with these quarterbacks. Do they have time to throw? I don't care who you are. If you don't, you're not going to be good. Caleb Williams, they went after him. Bryce Young, that's the season. That's the way it's going to be. They're coming after you. If you can't block, and we all thought, okay, the Bears upgraded their offensive line. Okay, but you're going against a couple of pretty good edge rushers. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson. By the way, Danielle Hunter is maybe the most underrated, really good player in the NFL because of his first name. There's people like, the guy Hunter is pretty good. Is it Danielle? No, it's Danielle Hunter. Because he put up some big numbers when he was in Minnesota. But you're watching last night and you're going, yep, he's still pretty good. But you got to give these quarterbacks time. And if you don't, you could be Tom Brady, Mahomes. I mean, even Mahomes was under pressure quite a bit. Max Crosby, God, I love him. He just never stops. You talk about hurries, getting in the backfield. And it felt like he was on a first-name basis with Lamar yesterday. And be like, hey, Max, hey, Lamar. Just about every play, he was getting in there and had an impact there. Hurries, to me, are the most important things. I know we pay people because of sacks. If you hurry a quarterback, it's the same thing. Aiden Hutchinson yesterday, first quarter against Baker Mayfield Jr. III. And I said this on Friday, I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay won that game. And for no other reason than they probably shouldn't, but Tampa Bay was a better team. Now, Detroit had a couple of bad, Jared Goff, a couple of bad picks. But Tampa made him throw bad picks. And Baker Mayfield, doubt him at your peril, because that's a chip on his shoulder that is never leaving. And it feels like every single game is a referendum on the Browns made a mistake and Tampa got a great bargain there. And you saw that yesterday.